Batu Carter.
Yes! Bravo!
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone, or good evening. I'd like to introduce Councilor Brian Gomes, Councilor at Large. He will be the Master of Ceremonies. Thank you, Brian. Brian is the Master of Ceremonies because the Mayor is at a conference.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. There we go. Welcome to City Hall Square, and I'm City Councilor at Large Brian Gomes. Before we begin, let me just introduce some people that have joined us from the elected body, from the state down to the city. And this afternoon with us is great district attorney, the district attorney that's fighting to keep crime off our streets, fighting to keep bad people off our streets, taking the bad people who don't know how to treat their parents and grandparents right, or their healthcare workers that want to take money from them. Our district attorney, Quinn. From the state level, Senator Mark Montigny. From the House of Representatives, Tony Cabral. Mark Schmidt. Where was it? Paul Schmidt. Sorry about that, Paul. Paul, I'm sorry, and I know you bought me a drink last time we were in the Cumberlands together. It was a grape juice, everybody. We also have State Representative Hendricks with us. We have the City Council President, Linda Morad. Council Ward 3, Hugh Dunn. Councilor at Large, Deborah Coelho. Councilor at Large, Ian Abreu. Councilor Ward 2, Maria Giesta. Councilor at Large, Naomi Carney. I haven't forgotten. Easy. Councilor Ward 5, Scott Lima. Did I miss anyone? I was waiting for her to scream to me. She's been screaming to me since I got here. Council Ward 4, and where we're located, Dana Ribeiro. Who's that? I know who he is. I'll get to him. See, I was thrown into this position this afternoon, and from the school committee, Mr. Jack Livamento. Thank you, everybody, and welcome. It's that time of the year when the Cape Verdean community gets together and shows the colors of our community, the people of our community, the contributions that have been part of making this city the city of New Bedford. I also want to recognize out there that I can see on my left, former Council Ward 4, Viola Pina. How are you? Thank you. If there's any other elected officials that I've missed, stand up and raise your hand. With that said, welcome to City Hall Square, and tonight we will be raising the flag of the Cape Verdean community and the country. We are very proud of our heritage. We are very proud of our contributions to the city of New Bedford. We are enriched in this community. And as I've said before, and I'll say it again, we are all together in this, and success comes through those who work together. So I'm going to ask that this weekend that we all work together to have a beautiful weekend. The weather is going to be hot. We're going to have a lot of people around. There's going to be an exciting parade and different other events that you're going to hear from others like Mary Ann, who will give you that report. But I ask you to be courteous in the neighborhood, be courteous to those that are around you, respect, because that's what we're all about. We're about respect. Do you agree? While I stand here and I'm looking straight ahead at him, let me recognize another great Cape Verdean. And there's great Cape Verdeans all over this city, just as there's Portuguese, there's Irish, there's Polish. But Carlos Amato, our retiring assessor, would you please give him a nice round of applause. Carlos, I've been here a long time. Thank you, sir, for your representation. Thank you for what you did. And I think if I stand to be corrected, you're the first Cape Verdean assessor. Give him a nice round of applause. All right, Mary Ann says my time is up. I'll be back. Thank you very much, everybody. I don't want to leave.
Okay, now we will have Candida Rose Baptista. She will be singing the U.S. anthem and the Cape Verdean anthem as we raise the flags.
Canta, irmão, canta, meu irmão, que a liberdade é hino e o homem é a certeza. Com dignidade, interessemente, no pó da ilha nua, na despenhadeira da vida, esperança é do tamanho de mar que nos abraças, sentinelas de mares e ventos, perseverante entre as estrelas e o Atlântico. Entoa o cântico de liberdade. Canta, irmão, canta, meu irmão, que a liberdade é hino e o homem é a certeza. Obrigada. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you.
Candida, that was beautiful. Thank you. Proclamation.
Thank you very much again. And before I read this, I'm going to ask Councilor Dana Ribeiro to join me here at the podium. I have a proclamation that comes from the Mayor's office that I'm going to ask Councilor Ribeiro as the Ward 4 Councilor to read.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So, official proclamation, whereas this is the 47th anniversary of the Cape Verdean Recognition Week, sponsored by the Cape Verdean Recognition Committee Incorporated. Whereas the honorary grand marshal for this year's parade will be the amazing Gail Forts, Executive Director of the YWCA Southeastern Massachusetts, who for over 35 years has dedicated her life to helping others by eliminating racism, empowering women, and fighting for social justice. Whereas the Cape Verdean Recognition Scholarship Committee will award over $40,000 to 33 deserving area high school students. Whereas this is the 44th anniversary of the independence of the Republic of Cabo Verde. Whereas New Bedford has long been a destination for Cape Verdean immigrants and home port for the historic schooner Ernestina Morrissey, which celebrated her 125th anniversary this year. Whereas the parish of Our Lady of Assumption Church in New Bedford, the first Cape Verdean Catholic church in North America, celebrated its 114th anniversary this year. Whereas Father Martin Gomes, SSCC of the community, is celebrating his 50th anniversary of his ordination to the priesthood. Whereas Father Martin Gomes, SSCC of this community, is celebrating his 50th anniversary of his ordination to priesthood. So good, we said it twice. Whereas the 47th annual Cape Verdean Recognition Parade will take place on Saturday, July 6th, 2019. Now therefore, I, Dana Ribeiro / John Mitchell, and every proud elected here, by virtue of the authority invested in me as City Councilor of Ward 4, do hereby proclaim June 29th, 2019, through to July 6, 2019, Cape Verdean Recognition Week in the City of New Bedford, and ask all of our citizens to share the celebration. We're all Cape Verdean for this week. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Ribeiro. And as Councilor Ribeiro has said, we are all Cape Verdean this weekend. So everybody working on their tan, because everybody wants to be Cape Verdean this weekend and all summer long. I've said this before. With that said, I would ask to the podium for a couple of words. Senator and Representative in Boston, Senator Mark Montigny.
Councilor Gomes knows that I've never been known to say a few words, but I'm going to. I'm going to shock you because she said you will today. Will you pull me by this suit that's sort of too tight for me? Good evening, everyone. It's great to be here. I'm going to be exceedingly brief, which I know you find hard to believe. And let me just say, not that brief. Brian just pulled on the suit. By the way, Carlos, yes, congratulations to you. You get recognition twice now. So I'm just going to say one thing. So how many people here live in New Bedford and were born in Cabo Verde? Raise your hand. How many here, other than your time of birth, since you've come to America, how many have gone back to Cape Verde, whether you were born there or not? Raise your hand. I hope someday when I come back, and I'll be brief every year, that every hand goes up, because I'll say this, and I'm just going to personalize it. I grew up in New Bedford, I'm not Cape Verdean, but I grew up understanding the culture, or so I thought until I visited Cabo Verde. And I have to tell you, it's an extension, or we, in a sense, are a mutual extension of each other, because when I got off the boat in Brava, I felt like I knew half the island. And then I went on to San Antao, true story, and I heard this accent, and I thought he sounded a little bit like mine, which is pretty rough. If I'm anywhere other than New Bedford, it's pretty rough. And I said to the gentleman, where are you from? And he said, well, I'm from here. And I said, I understand that, but you didn't pick that up here in San Antao. Where are you from? And he said, well, I'm from this place called New Bedford. And I said, well, that's interesting. Where in New Bedford? And he said, well, from Reed Street. And I said, well, that's interesting. What number? And he was from 4 houses away from where I grew up. And I thought, this is my place. So let me conclude just by, first of all, thanking the scholarship committee. $40,000 goes a long way. We ought to have a goal to double it and triple it, but I end with a sort of cross-cultural promotion. Anyone who gets on a plane and goes to any warm climate and doesn't put Cape Verde at the top of their list does not understand that we have a relationship with one of the most beautiful countries in the world, and many of you were born there and have not been back. Go back, because it's fabulous. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Senator Montigny. You know, he made me think of a day in the 90s when myself, him, and another counselor was invited to Mrs. Lobo's house on Kempton Street. And we were invited for breakfast. And guess what we were having for breakfast? He said, don't tell the story. I'm going to tell the story. We're having couscous. Mark sat down at the table along with me and John Lobo, and Mrs. Lobo began to cut the couscous and put it in the bowl and put some milk in the bowl and gave the spoons out, and we began to eat. Mark took the first bite, said, this is good. What he didn't know was Mrs. Lobo was following with another piece. The whole point behind it, again, we share our culture, we share the food, we share the music, we share the love. And we have a great love for the city of New Bedford. The Cape Verdean community has been a strong part of the Cape Verdean, of this community, and will continue to be, and one that you all sitting here and part of can be very proud, whether you're Cape Verdean or you're not Cape Verdean. With that said, State Representative Tony Cabral to the podium, please.
Don't tell any of the Grove stories either.
Good afternoon. Viva Cape Verde! Everybody's so quiet. Well, I'm delighted to be here once again with you to raise the flag of Cape Verde. This is a great day. It's a great beginning of this week for us to celebrate the rich culture, the rich traditions of Cape Verde that has made New Bedford really what it is today. All of us are more enriched as a community, as a culture or New Bedford community because of all your contributions, because of your faith, because of your family values, your work values, your traditions, your culture. It's really something else. You know, I'm proud every day when I walk through the streets of New Bedford, or if I'm in Boston representing this community, and I know how rich we are, and part of that is because of all the contributions of the Cape Verdean American community. New Bedford is nós terra também. New Bedford is nós terra. Right? As the national anthem was saying, canta, nosso irmão. Canta, irmão, liberdade. Because this is the beginning of celebrating liberty. Liberty and freedom and the independence of Cape Verde. And also celebrating independence of the United States of America. It's going to be on the 4th, and Cape Verde is on the 5th of July. So we all should be proud of not only our American roots, but our Cape Verdean roots, and proud of this community. So again, from the bottom of my heart, on behalf of all of those that I represent in this city, if they all could be here today, they would be here celebrating with you. But there will be throughout the week celebrating, beginning today, all the way through the 6th and during the parade. So from all of them, thank you for all your hard work and all your contributions. And never forget that New Bedford is also nós terra.
Thank you very much, Representative Cabral. And now I'm going to ask to the podium the top cop in Bristol County, the man that takes no nonsense, that gets the job done, a man that I got to know, I liked, I do love him because I love his approach. He's a no nonsense, it's getting the business done. District Attorney Tom Quinn.
Thank you, Brian. Happy to be here for the flag raising. Would like to congratulate everybody for the week of celebration to come. It's an important week to celebrate freedom in this country. The Cape Verdean community has been a big part of New Bedford for years, has given much to the community and has elevated it in many respects. So I look happy to be here, look forward to participating in the parade, and wish you the best. Thank you very much.
May I ask to the podium another great Cape Verdean, and a man that has represented us on the school committee, but he's represented us in the community. I remember this man when I was a young man, and he is a beautiful Cape Verdean. Jack Livamento from the school committee.
You're in a good mood today.
Thank you, Brian. United Interfaith Action had a meeting a couple of weeks ago, and at that meeting, which was an action meeting, we went through the process of really identifying New Bedford as the city that lit the world. And I say that today because many of the ships left the port of New Bedford and they headed out toward Cape Verde, mainly to round out their crews because the crew was not enough. This was dangerous work and very life-threatening. After many of those crewmen went around the world, they went through the process of really remaining here in the United States. Although my father was not a whaleman, after that there were many packet ships that brought other Cape Verdeans to the United States. Had not my father come to the United States via one of those packet ships and been aboard at my grandmother's house, he would not have met my mother, and I would not be in existence today. As many Cape Verdeans who are here in the United States would attest to that type of livelihood. And I say that because that encompasses the light that I have within myself to bring to this city of New Bedford. And each one of us has a portion of that light, which we shine on the city. This week, the city of New Bedford shines a light on the Cape Verdean community, but it really shines a light on each and every one of us here. We take that light and we spread it out throughout the entire community and throughout the entire city, throughout the entire state, and throughout the entire nation. For Cape Verdeans exist from here to the West Coast. And along with that light, it's a fire within us that we bring life, that we bring health, that we bring enjoyment, that we bring who we are to the state of Massachusetts and to the country. We thank you for being a part of that light. We thank the entire community for coming together to share the light within each of us, the light which we hold, that we hold dear to our community as Cape Verdeans, that we hold dear to ourselves as New Bedfordites. Thank you for all you make and for all you contribute to this city. This is a lively city, a city with many gifts, which we spread throughout the entire nation. Continue to spread that light as each succeeding generation moves along. Thank you for the life you bring to us. Thank you for being Cape Verdean. Have a great evening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Livamento. At this time, I would like to call to the podium Mary Ann Rogers. I want you to all know that this group that continues to do this Cape Verdean recognition, the scholarship committee, the parade, and everything is not a large group, but they go right to work right the day after the Cape Verdean parade and the festivities. And without them and without this lady, it's not possible. And she's been committed and dedicated, and it is my pleasure to introduce to you Mary Ann Rogers, the president of the Cape Verdean Recognition Committee.
Botari, viva Cape Verde. Thank you, Brian Gomes, Counselor at Large, and our officials that are here. I also want to thank Dana Ribeiro and Brian, who always support the parade. Thank you to Mayor John Mitchell and the City of New Bedford for their support of the parade, and all our officials for their kind remarks. I would also like to thank Chief Cordero and his captains, Frank Carrier, Captain Netto, and even the Traffic Division, Sergeant Liberty, and the New Bedford Police Department. There is a lot that goes on behind the scenes to make sure this is a safe parade. Thank you to the Cape Verdean American veterans who, under the leadership of Manuel Lopes, started Cape Verdean Recognition Week over 48 years ago. Cape Verdean Recognition Week started before the parade, and I am looking forward to the 50th year. Cape Verdeans are part of the rich history of New Bedford. I could go on and on to name all the distinguished Cape Verdeans from the past and present. But today, I would like to recognize Father Martin Gomes, who was ordained as a priest 50 years ago. And this milestone was celebrated at Our Lady of the Assumption in Assumption Church in May. I would also like to let you know who the members are of the Cape Verdean Recognition Committee, so I'm going to read their names off. So we have Marilyn Gonsalves, Vice President, Diane Gomes, Treasurer, Attorney Sylvia Gomes, Secretary, Norma J. Belay, Ivan Brito, Dorothy Gomes, Gail A. Gonsalves, Jose Montero, Nathan Montero, Cynthia Morris, Dr. Bruce Rose, Jillian Silva Jones, Carol Spencer Montero, and we have honorary members, Emma Gomes and Juliana Hines. And I would like to thank them for all of their hard work all year. The celebrating of Cape Verdean Recognition Week started last week with our scholarship event. $44,000 was awarded to 32 deserving students. You will hear more about this. You will hear more about this from Marilyn Gonsalves, the chairperson of the Scholarship Committee. We have another week of celebrations. On July 2nd, there is a lecture about Cape Verdean history by Dr. Trevor Hall at the New Bedford National Whaling Park at 6:30 p.m. On July 3rd, at the New Bedford Whaling Museum, there is an exhibit called Cape Verdean Voices. This is where you will see the artistic talent of New Bedford, of the New Bedford Cape Verdeans. It is not just art, but includes poetry, media displays, and much more. This exhibit honors Judge George Layton, the first Cape Verdean federal district judge. On July 6th, the Cape Verdean Recognition Week will culminate with our 47th Cape Verdean Recognition Parade. I hope to see you all. And I forgot to thank Candida Rose Baptista also for her lovely singing. So at this time, I will have Marilyn Gonsalves, Vice President and the Chairperson of the Scholarship Committee, speak about scholarship programs. And then it will be Diane Gomes, the Chairperson of the parade. And it's unbelievable the strategic and the logistics that what she does, but her military background really helps her. Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here again this year to celebrate the beginning of Cape Verdean Recognition Week. I am extremely happy to announce that we awarded $42,000 to 33 outstanding high school graduates from the greater New Bedford area at the Whaling Museum last Thursday. It was a wonderful event. In the past 15 years, the committee awarded over $420,000 to 396 recipients. Thank you. I want to thank the members of the committee who all worked so diligently in making this year a huge success. They are Norma Belay, Kyle Cruz, Attorney Sylvia Gomes, Julianne Silva Jones, Dr. Susan Costa, Dorothy Gomes, Gail Gonsalves, Dr. Bruce Rose, and Carol Spencer Montero. The committee is very grateful for the monies raised this year and the generous amount of donations received from so many sponsors, organizations, businesses, and individuals who made it a very successful year. The committee wishes to express their thanks and gratitude to all that made it possible in assisting the cause of increasing awareness about the importance of education and leadership for our young adults. I just saw one of our fantastic contributors throughout the years, Juliana Hines. She has been phenomenal, and we just want to thank her again. We ask for your continued support next year. The committee has a 501(c) status, therefore all donations are tax deductible. Anyone interested in donating to this worthy cause can send their contribution to the Cape Verdean Recognition Committee, P.O. Box 3070, New Bedford, Mass, or contact any one of the committee members. We hope to see all of you at the parade on July the 6th. Come and see our wonderful recipients who will be participating in the parade. Have a great week celebrating Cape Verdean heritage. Thank you.
Let's give her another round of applause. That scholarship committee is the ultimate. They work very hard, and they continue to work very hard to send our kids off to school with a little bit of relaxation when it comes to the monies and what it takes to educate yourself. With that said, I'd like to call to the podium Diane Gomes. She's the one in charge of the parade. She gives all the orders. I just follow on parade day. Diane Gomes.
Stand up here. Hello, everyone. I know a lot of people out there. Believe it or not, I'm really nervous today. I don't know why. Okay, I want to start off a little bit different this year and recognize my committee, because although Brian, Councilor Gomes, stated that it's a small committee, I actually have a really large committee this year, and I am so grateful to them because it relieved a lot of pressure off me this year, which is kind of hard for me to do. Like Marianne said, my military background helps me out, but it's kind of a downfall for my committee because I was a sergeant in the Army, and sometimes it still comes out of me, so my committee members are like, I'm not one of your soldiers. So I want to name them off, and I see a lot of them. I want them to raise their hand because this is the hardest working committee, I think, in New Bedford. It's a lot of work, and like they said, it's year round. Al Montero, I saw you out there. Where are you? Al Montero. Antoinette Cabral. Renee Ledbetter. Renee's here. Desiree Martin, she's around over here. Nate Montero, he's over here. Jenny Andrews, I believe she's away on vacation. Kenny Ramus. I didn't see Kenny, but I know Kenny's here. There's Kenny. Shane Burgo. Marianne Rogers. Leanne Fisher, she's here. Margaret Naru, Penny Naru, Jose Montero in uniform, Julio Barboza away on vacation, Monique Brittle, she's here, Norma Bilet's here, Ivan Brittle, they're all mostly right around this area, I believe. Jonathan Career, a very, very new member, just moved back into the city and said he wants to get involved. Joe Dias, Chris Carter, Colleen Cardwell, Dana DeBarros, Dana Rivero, and Felicia Barboza. Give it up for this parade committee. Let me tell you, they do a lot of work year round, year round. And now I need to thank our sponsors because without the money, we would not have a parade. This parade is over $25,000 just about. So we have Mass Cultural Council, cruise companies. Everybody knows cruise construction, right? 70 years strong, 70 years for Cape Verdean owned company. We need to celebrate that. This is their 70th anniversary. We have Grant Pierce Housing, very faithful to us, Senior Whole Health, Saunders Drives Funeral Home, Jack's Auto Body, that's a new one this year. It's a new company, Cape Verdean owned. The New Bedford Police Union, South Coast Health, another new one for us this year. They're gonna have their van down in the vendor area. Century House, Whirly Beds, very faithful, United Way of Greater New Bedford, and Destination New Bedford. So give it up for our sponsors, we need them. So now I get to tell you a little bit about the parade. Just a little bit, because I don't want to give it all away. But we have a new group called the Long Island Sunrisers from New York. They're 7-time world champions, and they will be here this year, so we're looking forward to seeing them. And we have something a little bit different this year. I'm looking forward to seeing them. It's the Spirit of America. They're right here in Massachusetts, way down on the Cape in New Orleans. It's a fife and drum corps. They're really, really sharp, and they're gonna bring a little different flavor for what we're used to. And then we have South Coast Jazz Band. We have those roller derby chicks again. I think Leanne's a member, right, Leanne? Roller derby, Mass Attack, they're coming again. And of course, we have Tonka Tumblers going strong since the 80s. I don't see Toy today, though. And then we're gonna have the vendors where we had them last year on Bedford Street. They'll be from the bottom of Bedford at Cushionet Avenue going all the way up to Pleasant Street. So please support our vendors, and if you know you want something to eat after the parade, there'll be some vendors lined up over there. And now I get to introduce our Grand Marshal, Gail Forts. Let's stand on this one. Gail is the Executive Director of the YWCA. She's truly committed to the mission of the Y, eliminated racism and empowering women. For over 35 years, she's dedicated her life to helping others. Her motivation is being involved in organizations that are committed to eliminated racism, empowering women, social justice, and leadership development. Her commitment for the support and advancement of women in our region is apparent not only in her day-to-day role as Executive Director of the YWCA, but in all her community work where she serves on many, many local boards. Please join me in congratulating our 2019 Parade Grand Marshal, Mrs. Gail Forts.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming tonight. Thank you to the Cape Verdean Recognition Committee for selecting me. This is truly an honor to be the parade marshal. I cannot tell you how excited I am about this opportunity. Thank you to Mayor Mitchell, all the city councilors, Senator Montigny, Rep. Cabral, Rep. Schmidt, Rep. Hendricks, the DA, and everyone that supports this event throughout the year that made this possible. I am truly humbled for this prestigious honor. As a lifelong New Bedford resident, I'm proud to serve my city as the Executive Director of the YWCA, where every day we work to eliminate racism, empower women, and promote peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all. But I want to talk about being a Cape Verdean American. I'm sorry, this is emotional for me. I see a lot of my family members here, my mom, my brother. I see the Silvas out there. Our grandparents came to this country over 100 years ago to make a better life for us. Mary Lopes, Manny Lopes, Antonia Tech, Bartholomew Silva. Many of you remember Freddie Silva, Johnny Silva, my dad Tommy, who's still with us, thank God. Played in a band, taught us about Cape Verdean culture. So even though we were born here in this country, my father and his brothers lived in Cape Verde for many, many years. So we grew up immersed in this community, immersed in the culture. So it is truly a blessing and truly an honor to celebrate our heritage. Our parents always brought us up to learn about our culture. I'm bringing up my children and now my granddaughter to learn about our culture because it is so, so important. New Bedford is so rich in diversity. We are so lucky to have all of this in our communities because for those of you who have traveled other places, you don't find that in other communities. I know the first time I traveled with my oldest daughter and we went out of town to other communities, it was very apparent of how things were very different than they are in New Bedford. So we are so honored and so blessed to have that. We were raised, my grandparents helped build things like Our Lady of Assumption Church, the church that you see on South 6th Street, because we were on Water Street in a very small church. Worked at the Verdean Vets, the band club. Those were community icons, and I know that they would be so proud, you know, to see this parade and to see everything that the Cape Verdeans have accomplished through the years and everything more that we will do in the future going forward. So thank you so much for this honor. I'm looking forward to all the activities this week and can't wait to see you at the parade on Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you, Gail, for those touching words. And as you can see, we made the right selection. Our next person performing will be Eva Brito, and I just want to tell you a little bit about Eva. Eva Brito is a Cape Verdean visual and performing artist. As a native of Cabo Verde, Eva channels her nostalgic love of her birthplace, tapping into her culturally diverse identity to call for justice, unity, and liberation through her artistic works. She is the author of Essence, Tones, Whispers, and Shouts, a collection of poetry in which she draws on nature and past experiences, and her vision for illuminated and inclusive worlds. Eva is the arts and resident for the New Bedford Wheeling National Park for the month of July, August, and September. And she is also the director of the Women's Center at Bristol Community College. So here's another talented Cape Verdean.
Viva Cabo Verde! Boa tarde, presidente. Thank you to the Cape Verdean Recognition Committee for having me. I'm truly honored to be here. You know, I was born in the Cape Verde Islands and I came here when I was young. And, you know, my parents made it a point to stay connected to our roots in Cape Verde, and I would go every so often. But I also feel like I'm really fortunate. They say that a village raises a child, and we were really fortunate that we came to New Bedford as our landing place, because not only did my parents shape and mold my connection to Cape Verde, but also this community. I went to Gomes School that was after a Cape Verdean American, and grew up in Bay Village for a part of my childhood, and then going to a well away, and I just see so many people in this audience. I see you know, a well away church. We had a basketball team. Bernadette was my coach. Tom Lopes is, you know, I passed by his monument, and I think he always reminded me of my Cape Verdean culture. Mary Barrows, you know, the late Mary Barrows, when our family came, that our first Christmas was there, and she said, you know, I know you guys just came, I'm going to show you that love. So this community is special, that we all have this love for Cape Verde, and I'm fortunate to be part of that. So this week is Cape Verde Recognition Week, and I say, regardless if you've been to Cape Verde, if you speak the language, you know, this culture, this beautiful culture that we share, it's in our smile, it's in our hugs, it's in our love, it's that mora baza that we feel. So regardless if it's this week or all year round, I'm all about this Cape Verdean love, so I want to spread that. So I'm going to share a poem, which is No Stat, and I wasn't going to originally read this one, but this is what I'm feeling, so I hope you feel it too. Nostara represents our land in Criollo. So Nostara. My ancestors whispered to me their stories. My lips spoke their names. Boa Vista, Santiago, Santantão, Maio e Fogo. Is 10 ilha, moram as 10 dedos de mão. These 10 islands like my 10 fingertips. Sal, Santa Luzia, San Nicolau, São Vicente y Brava, each with its own essence, all within me. From the lava rocks of Fogo to the white sands of Maio, from Santiago's Coladeira, from Santiago's Batuque to São Vicente's Coladeira. I sway in your rhythm, I caress myself in sunny cloud sunset. I slide down Boa Vista sand dunes. I elevate to Santantão's peak. I bloom in Brava's garden. At a distance, I see my silent sister, Santa Luzia, watching over me. Finally, I land to open arms at Cabral's door in Sal. And as I transcend in this vast sea of history engraved in me, selfishly, I want to keep you hidden. I want you hidden like my secret hiding place, where childhood memories lies and bright blue skies of fading faces. And my roots are painted in vibrant hues of red, yellow, and green. And a grandmother's kiss on the forehead makes time stand still. Sunlight rays darken skin tones and enlighten souls. And as your beauty transcends time and distance, like a farewell of childhood's innocence to womanhood truth, all that I ask is for you to wear this gift, this conta de ouro around your soul, molded by ancestors' sweat and tears, engraved with morabeza smiles of yesterday, remembrance of our ancestors' whispers, Nostara, Nostara Cabo Verde, que eu esqueci de conta de ouro. Our land, Cape Verde, don't forget our conta de ouro. Thank you. And I just want to say that, you know, we are Cape Verde's Canto de Origin. We are the people that will protect our culture and inherit it and pass it on to the generation. So not only is that necklace, but we also are that spirit that will keep Cape Verde where it needs to be, a shining place for all of us. Thank you.
Oh, that was beautiful, Eva. That was Marabaza. Hey, I tried. Okay. I want to thank Brian Gomes, Councilor at Large, being our MC. And Brian's going to say a few closing remarks. I want to thank the Cape Verdean veterans for raising the flags. And after Brian says his remarks, you can still stick around because we will have Batakata drumming. We'll still be performing for a little while. Thank you, and I know we're going to have a fantastic parade, so I hope to see you all there.
Mary Ann, thank you very much, the committee. Again, I will stress that it's Cape Verdean Recognition Week. Let's all come together. I think you've heard it in many of the words and people that have stepped to this podium, including Eva and others. We have a love for this city. We have a love for our culture. We have a love for the people. And that love will be spread this weekend. So if you're out there, I'll be looking forward to getting a hug from you. I'll be forward to looking for that handshake and that come together and celebrate what we're all about, what our contributions have been, what we are all about here in the city of New Bedford. And it has always been a positive one. To all of you, have a great evening. Look forward to seeing you this weekend. And before I conclude, I want you to give this committee a nice round of applause because without them, without their continuing hard work, this is not foreseen in the future. It is seen in the future because they continue to work very hard. To all of you, have a great summer. Look forward to seeing you this weekend. Diane wants to come back, and when the sergeant calls, I just move. Sergeant Diane Gomes.
I forgot the most important thing. The parade starts at 11 a.m. and we are back to our original route from Buntwood Park straight down Union Street, right on Acushnet Avenue, right on Grinnell, right on Purchase Street, and ending at 561 Purchase Street, which is the Cape Verdean Veterans Memorial Hall. You can send your donations to First Citizens Credit Union on County Street. PO Box 3070.
Thank you, Diane. To my colleagues in government, to our state representatives, our district attorney, all those that are here, thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you during the weekend. Let's celebrate and let's have a great weekend. Everybody be safe and God bless you.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.